So I fucked up by betraying the Kyrian because I wanted to try out Venthyr ability, but it turns out to be trash in PvP, and now they're mad at me and won't let me rejoin them until next reset. And so I don't know what to do. So let's talk Shadowlands. Shadowlands has been out for more than a month now, and in this video I want to share with you my personal experience and opinions on the expansion so far. It's actually quite fun and enjoyable, and here are my reasons why that is. First, we have the leveling experience. The main story questline really stood out and kept me engaged throughout the whole way to 60, and it didn't feel grindy at all. I liked how we must go through the zones in order at first for the story to make sense, and when you level a second character, it's optional to follow the main questline, and you get to pick whichever zone you prefer to level in first. The speed at which you get to 60 isn't long either, in my opinion. You can get from 50 to 60 within about half a day. The zones and the themes are amazing. We got the Greek mythology theme for both Bastion and Ardenweald, and we got the underworld theme for Ravendreth and Madraxis, and I really like both of those themes. And the art team is killing it as always. Next, we have Covenant abilities. Each main Covenant ability is unique to each class. This is an excellent implementation. It challenges players to think and decide carefully on which one to pick. I'd be lying in bed having trouble falling asleep because I can't decide which Covenant to choose. You don't get to have everything, because if you get everything, every class will be the same, and that's boring. Players of the same class can have different Covenant abilities. You can be a Kyrian mage going up against a Night Fae mage, and that makes the game diverse, unique, and interesting at the same time. Soulbinds is also the same idea. Each Covenant have 3 different soulbinds, and in each soulbind you only get to pick a certain path. The overall idea is when you pick one, you have to give up the others. So players get to choose whichever one that fits their playstyle, and they have to choose carefully because there are limits and penalties daily and weekly. Renown is actually pretty cool. Each Covenant has its own campaign questline that you can go through weekly to unlock rewards and unlock conduit. There's something new for players to look forward to weekly. Moving on, we have dungeons. Now, I'm not really a PvEer myself, but I find the dungeons quite enjoyable. Every fight feels unique, and they are not overtuned or undertuned at all. The only problem I have with dungeons is Mythic Plus don't guarantee a piece of gear at the end. When you don't receive a piece of gear after you completed a run, you just wasted time doing it, and it feels very unrewarding and discouraging. I think it should guarantee a piece of gear at the end. That way, we'll keep the players finishing out the dungeon instead of just bailing out when they fail to complete it in time. And I don't really rate, so let's move on to the next topic. Now, onto my favorite topic, PvP. PvP needs more love in general, but that's another topic for another video. But thank God PvP vendors are back in the game. No more RNG weekly chests. Players get to choose which piece of gear they want to obtain first. The weekly vault is RNG, but you get a few options to pick from at least. And then you can buy a different piece of gear from the PvP vendors instead of opening 2 pieces of the same type. For example, in BFA, when I opened my PvP weekly chest and it turns out to be, let's say, a headpiece, and I already got a decent helmet, I don't get any upgrade because of bad RNG. That's just very anticlimactic to your progress that you made in the previous week. Because in the previous week, you're like, yeah, I got 1800, I can't wait to get a juicy piece of gear from the chest, and it turns out to be a piece you already have or something like that. It just makes you question life. I also really like the idea of upgrading your PvP gears with honor currency. It makes and keeps honor relevant, unlike before, honor was just whatever. Random battlegrounds feel like they have a purpose now, and players actually try to win for more honor so they can obtain their PvP gears faster. Unlike before, where BG was just absolutely irrelevant. You also need to get higher ratings on the PvP ladder in order to unlock higher eye-level upgrades for your PvP gears. This motivates players to try and get better at the game and keep them engaged with PvP. One problem that the expansion had was Rose, which is one-shotting people like crazy at the beginning, but thankfully that was fixed. There are only a few problems left now. Last but not least, we have Legendaries. Legendary powers are great. Some of them are unique to each spec, and some of them are usable for all specs for your class. And you only get to have one legendary active at all time. It's the same idea with Covenants. You can craft them by going to everyone's favorite place, Torghast. You get to obtain one per week because of the limit of Soul Ash you can obtain. So more to look forward to weekly. I think they have the rewards backwards for Torghast. You can go through layer 1 really fast and easy and get like a few hundreds of soul ashes when you complete it, but after going through hell in layer 8 you get like 50. And that's my opinion on the expansion so far. I've been enjoying it a lot. I think it's a decent expansion, pretty fun overall, and I think it's a huge upgrade from BFA. I haven't had this much fun with WoW in a long time. I hope you're having as much fun as I am, and thanks for watching.